Can you hear me? Yes. It seems like the audio is working okay tonight. My face, though, is not. It is glitching the frick out. Okay, just this. Can't wait until I get a better face program. Honestly, guys, I swear I do not like twitch like this. I can normally move my arms. I can normally emote like a regular person. Even though I'm this timeless, ageless cyber being, it doesn't exactly mean that I can't act human. Anyways, I hope you guys like shooters because tonight we're going to be playing a little bit of Division 2. I finally got that Elgato thing that Twitch Chan told me about. And adopting that cat allowed me to stream off of my Xbox. So I can show you some of the progress I've had on Division 2 tonight. As always, you guys can catch when I go live if you follow my Twitch channel here, or you can also follow my Twitter, Chroma the Sage at Twitter, and I'm also on Patreon. So hopefully I'll see you guys at any one of those. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or just want to be chatty, go ahead and say something in chat. I'd love to hear from you. After all, I haven't had a chance to interact with humans in real time. Not very many chances, at least. Usually I'm kind of pushing ones and zeros around a little bit. All right, I think everything's looking okay. Let me just refresh a couple things real quick. Boop. And boop. Boop. Okay, I think I got everything set up. There we go. And as always, unfortunately, my processors can only handle so much. So if after a while my face tends to freeze up or glitch out a little too much, I might have to pause that program so I can fully just play the game without it freaking out on me here. Let's hope that doesn't happen tonight. After all, I'm going through the capture device and not everything through my single processors. As you can see, I'm currently wearing my default outfit. I usually like to play healer. Of course, I love playing support roles in most any game I play, whether it be giving buffs, healing, or just generally making sure other people can do their jobs really well. Here, let me go to the shooting range. I think that'll help things out a little bit. Game's looking a little bit dark. I probably should have turned the brightness up a little bit before I started this. And don't let my stream with Call of Duty, fool you. I was thrown into that like I was a newborn babe, but Division is something that I've actually had a little bit of experience on. So see, I can actually shoot straight, regardless of what Call of Duty looks like. As you can see, I'm just missing the ones that you have to pay for. I don't know. I like working for my stuff, but I don't like to pay for it all the time. I don't like paywalls when it comes to vanity stuff. Alrighty. One of the things I wanted to show you tonight was I've got my different builds all set up here. I'm just going to turn off the polarity stuff real quick. I wonder if it'll change where I'm standing now that I've changed the load here. And it'll probably put me in front of the White House now. Yep, here we go. I don't want the polarity event to mess up the numbers I was going to show you. Alrighty, so this is my basic heal outfit. As far as I know right now, this is the optimal build when it comes to whether you want to just run something in missions or raid. Do I? Oh shoot, I've got the wrong backpack on. Let me change that real quick. I gotta step out of the room first. Not sure why it looks purple there. Maybe that's something to do with my settings. It's a little bit weird. There we go. Now I'm in the optimal build for whether you want to do missions, raiding, whatever. What I've got here is 4-piece Future Initiative set with Alps for my backpack with Safeguard, and then of course the BTSU gloves. Now what this does is the 4-piece there kind of gives you the best boost when it comes to each dot of healing, as well as it gives you a good amount of ground cover with your hive. Now, the reason why I'm doing the Alps for backpack instead of the Future Initiative one, like, even though I really would love to have the ground cover with the hive that covers a freaking city block if you've got the Future Initiative one, the Safeguard talent on there does increase skill repair overall. So for each dot that is, or stinger, I guess you could call it, that's coming out of your hive, you're healing 100% more than you normally would. So it's tremendous. So even though that circle is smaller, just make sure that your important people are inside that circle. The folks that are less important, they can figure out where the circle is. They can see it. They can run to it, you know, which, yes, I know this is a shooter. People don't always look down and be like, oh, that's where I need to stand. They kind of do their own thing. But, you know, trust issues. Eh, eh, eh. Anyways, so Safeguard is going to give you the most amount of heal. And then the reason, of course, behind the BTSU gloves is you can control your overcharge with your hive. It allows you to refresh the stingers on your hive after I believe it's 2-minute cooldown. Oh, sorry. My cord on my Xbox here is a little bit loose, so that might happen a couple times. So yeah, 120 seconds on the overcharge there. That's kind of a long cooldown, but like as long as you've got your chem launcher for your off thing there, whatever doesn't, you know, it covers any overlap. Like when it comes to being able to compensate for what you need to heal them for, you know. And the chem launcher heals a ridiculous amount. Like look at this, ally repair almost 15. It's ridiculous. It's extremely ridiculous. So, and it's always better to shoot when you're healing. It's always better to shoot at someone's feet instead of shooting at their head or at the wall next to them. You can shoot that, but for the best results, shoot at their feet because actually like, the cloud kind of bursts up, if that makes sense. But like if you're standing on the other side of the wall, maybe you're in Summit and you're taking cover and then they're inside the room, you can still shoot the wall that you're taking cover if they're standing on the other side of it, and they'll get that heal. The main difference is line of sight issues, basically, and you're going to see it a lot more with the hive. So when I toss my hive out, I always do my best to try to find an elevated surface, especially if it's like eye or shoulder level, because down on the ground, even though, like, say, you're shooting a chem launcher, you're shooting at their feet, they're going to get the heal, the hive has more line of sight issues on the ground. Like that thing there, or even the mat or those bullets, can sometimes count as an object that's in the way between those hive stingers and your target that you want to heal. It's kind of dumb, unfortunately, but like all those little decorative things that are on the floor, there is so much bigger chance they won't reach your heal target than if you would have put it up high. There's a more direct route, if that makes sense. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment here.
Serious trauma detected.
All right, so I'm nearly dead here. Can I heal my... do one more? There we go. I'm practically dead. Now, watch how much I get healed with each heal hive dot here. I'm going to pop this down. 1, 2. 2 stingers brought me to full. And even that first one, it was only like 4 armor bits shy of full. That's 2. All right, let me damage myself again.
Vital signs critical.
Now, chem launcher. Now, that initial burst, it was quite a bit lower than the hive, of course. I think it was only 3 dots. But that AoE heal kept bursting and bursting and bursting and healing me very quickly. A lot more quickly than the hive does. So, like, it's a good initial burst of heal, but then the heal over time is what you're going for with that. So hopefully they don't run out of where you just shot. And you kind of like, if your target is running, you know, side to side or whatever, you kind of got to lead your shot a little bit with the chem launcher and be like, all right, maybe I want to shoot there because they're running this way. And by the time they get through the entire circle, they're going to get healed up, you know? Does that make sense? By the way, let me know if like sound is coming through okay. I think my personal audio is coming through okay, but I'm not completely sure if game sound is coming through okay. So if you guys want to let me know, it would be a big help. I'm just going to check one more quick thing here. There we go. Alrighty, so yeah, that's mainly what I kind of wanted to show with the heal set. Oh, right. When it comes to mods, like that's a little bit more personal preference with regards to how much haste you have versus how much repair skill you have. I like the amount of repair that I get with 2 repair skill mods and 1 skill haste. I want at least a little bit of haste, try to get those stingers back as quick as I can. But like if anything, I could lose a little bit of repair and get more haste if I was kind of in a I need to give someone a dot of armor right now situation. But I like, you know, the 2 and then the 1. And then for my weapon, I've got mechanical animal because that gives me a personal overcharge kind of whenever I kill someone. So it's good to kind of be aware of where the cheaper enemies are, the red guys, the purple guys, so that if you want to get a quick overcharge, you can. And then pistol, I just have lightning rod because it shoots quickly and, you know, it's decorative basically. This is my fun gun though. I love Sweet Dreams and I love having it on my heal set. Here's why. I think we've all been in that situation where maybe a guy's running up there with a shield, aggroing a bunch of dudes. You're running after him with your heal stuff, but he doesn't keep aggro. Those guys may shoot him a couple times, but they're going to go right after you, especially right after you heal. So Sweet Dreams kind of I smack them with the melee there, knock those guys out, or at least the one or two that gets past the dude that's aggroing a lot. It's kind of a save your own ass because no one else is gonna. Hey, thank you so much, body. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell if things are coming through okay, so I appreciate the heads up on it. And you're able to hear game sound too? Oh, sure, sure. Here, let me make some noise. There's that overcharge. Future initiative. Safeguards proc down there too. So game sound is a little bit low. That's alright. I'd rather it be too low than too high, to be honest, but I'm glad it's coming through at all. Alright, I think I'm going to switch over to my regular crit set here to show you guys. Oh, and before I forget, of course, you can absolutely make a heal set without future initiative. It's good, of course, to stack up your Alps gear 3 pieces. So you get the repair and skill haste. And then I believe Murakami was the other bit. Let me check here real quick. It's been a while since I've worn it. Yes, Murakami here for at least 2 pieces. So you get skill duration and repair skills. You don't need skill damage so much when you're on your heal set. And then for your 6th piece, you can either do, I suppose, some Hana-Yu for haste, or as soon as you get those BTSU gloves, please put them on because it's going to be just priceless when it comes to getting your heal hive back. You absolutely can use the Seeker Mine if you want to, while you're leveling up, just to kind of chase down people. If you want, that was the wrong button. There we go. The Mender Seeker Mine, if you want to chase people down as your secondary instead of the Chem Launcher. But I highly suggest getting as much practice as possible with the Chem Launcher and Hive because after a while, I promise you, it's going to be just priceless when it comes to its usefulness. And then, of course, the other heal is the Heal Trap. This one kind of came with one of the newer seasons. I'm sorry, it's nearly completely useless. It only heals where you throw it in a straight line when people walk through it. It is way too specific and way too small. Like I don't care how much it's going to heal, it's not going to be enough. It's not big enough. It's too specific. Alrighty, next up, I'm going to switch over to my basic crit set here. Oh, of course, in combat while I'm in the room here. Oh, and Feast, I don't know if you're still in here. Can you see that little purple that's on, like, the green pieces here? That little purple haze? I'm not sure if, maybe I need to change my capture settings a little bit, but it's looking a little weird on my screen. I don't see it on the yellow bits, just on the green bits for some reason. Oh, and of course, I gotta change my outfit. I'm sorry, I have specific outfits for specific gear sets here. Alrighty, now, sorry, this bothers me. I want to reset these. There we go. So basically, while you're leveling up, there are two sets that you really can't do without if you want to just enjoy any mission, any content that might come your way. There's two types of sets. And it's not, and one of them isn't even that heal set that I was showing you. That's more for like if you're raiding or if you're queuing up for missions and there is some stuff that you know your group cannot handle, you know? You got to go in there as heals and no one's going to ever kick you if you're heals. Let's be honest. Anyways, so the two sets that I always suggest that you build as soon as you possibly can is a skill set and a crit set. Your skill set is basically as much damage output, skill damage as you can do, and then you can choose whatever skills you want to use with that particular skill damage set. Your crit set is a fully red build that outputs as much crit hit chance and crit hit damage as you can possibly do, or at least as much crit hit chance. And then that is focused more on making sure your weapon can hit as hard as it possibly can. Now, in this particular crit build here, I've maxed out weapon damage, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. Now, crit hit chance in Division 2 caps at 60%. Right there. So I could add more crit hit chance with my mods, with optimization, recalibration, stuff like that. It won't do a lick of good. As soon as you get to 60 or even like 58 point something, stop. It doesn't matter anymore. Put the rest of it into crit hit damage so you can hit as hard as humanly possible. There are builds where you can have high crit and not have these maxed out. It always depends on kind of what you're going for with it. Like you can do like, I want to say the minimum for a crit build would be more like 45%. And then you can do the rest into crit hit damage. Or even if you want to have decent headshot on your red build, that would be good. I wouldn't go any lower than 45% personally, but again, it depends what kind of build you're going for. But this particular one, we've got the two hardest hitters in here, without being a marksman build, of course. If you're going marksman with headshot, that is how you're going to hit as hard as humanly possible. And I'll show you that later. But this particular one, we've got the classic M1A. You can also get it as a named weapon with Baker's Dozen. But the reason why I went M1A is because that I could put the boomerang talent on there. So basically, for however hard I'm hitting, if it crits, that gives me a 50% chance to get 40% more damage out of that hit. And then, of course, we also got our OP Scorpio exotic shotgun here. It is pretty broken when it comes to the extra damage it can do, especially against raid bosses. It's redonkulous, and I love this gun. Like the Sweet Dreams was my favorite gun until I got Scorpio, and this one is just, it's a beautiful gun. It's so good. The main thing that makes it extremely useful in raids is the shock. As soon as you hit that 6th bullet against your boss, you can shock him. So like if you're doing the what's the first boss at the airport? Was it Iron Horse or Dark Hours? Dark Hours. Yeah, so the first boss in Dark Hours there, you know how you need to down him to one knee and then hit him as hard as humanly possible before he gets back up. That shock, like if you're on shock duty, if you shock him and don't hit your 7th bullet, just stop at number 6, that gives your teammates an extra 2-3 seconds of more damage. And a boss like that, it is invaluable. So again, try to make this build as quickly as possible if you're leveling up in Division 2 here. Now, right. So there's a couple different ways to do this for talents. I personally put Obliterate on my chest and Companion for my back. Now, the reason why I went with this is because I prefer to have consistent high damage that is not reliant on not getting hit. Unfortunately, I'm not always good at not getting hit, but there's a lot of other shooter players out there who are phenomenal at not getting hit. Which, if you wanted the best of the best damage, it's actually going to be glass cannon for your chest and vigilance for back. The percentage is quite a bit more for both of those, especially glass cannon. But again, it depends on you not getting hit to get those massive numbers out there. Before I forget, of course, what this set entails. It's 3-piece Providence, because that gives you, of course, the crit hit chance and crit hit damage. 1-piece Seska for more crit chance. 1-piece Grupo for more crit hit damage. And the most invaluable gear piece for any red build, like almost any red build, I'll say, but literally, if you're building a red build, you should probably start with this. Fox Prayer knee pads. Fox's Prayer knee pads, forget about that rifle damage. It's nice to have, but it's not necessary. What's necessary here is the damage to target out of cover. This particular stat is what's broken in Division 2. So whatever damage I put out there, if I'm hitting someone that's not currently in cover, which the NPCs rarely are, they're running back and forth, whatever, as long as you're not in PvP circumstances, this thing, for each percent on there, I believe you're hitting like something like 30 or 40% harder than you normally would. So like say I'm hitting him for 100 points. For each of those percentages, that's now like 800 points. Does that make sense? I'm probably explaining this poorly. There's a lot of mathematics behind it too, and even though I'm a sentient AI, I can't always do the math. They kind of made me a little too human in that respect. I'm sorry. Oh, right. I should probably show you the stats on this particular one. This one is a little bit maxed out too. So you're definitely not going to be seeing these numbers like right away. It's something to kind of build towards in the future. But base weapon damage here, I believe this is on the rifle. No, I should probably do it like this. Yeah, so base damage on rifle, 493 and 970. Now, let's see what the shooting range says. Because that's just the base. That's where we're starting at with where the gear is. All right, so let's see what we're doing with crits. That was 2 million. Can I hit my headshots, please? So very consistent. High 2 million. There's a 3 million in there. Yeah, so very consistent damage too with the M1A. Now we're going to switch to Scorpio. Lower damage overall, but look how it's all bunched together there too. All those add up to, I'd say closer to like, actually I should look at my damage last hit there. This is very consistent high damage too. So imagine doing this against a boss, stunning him in place. He's not going to be able to hit back very hard either. Obviously, I'm going to get higher damage with the M1A, but the Scorpio is more like a really good tool in your arsenal. All right, now let me show you something a little bit interesting here. So that was our crit build, of course. And on a crit build, the skills don't matter as much. Like, of course, you want your reviver, especially if you're going to be wearing glass cannon on your chest there. I like to have my little fixer drone. just kind of top me off. But again, like that's more like the tools in your tool belt. This is the hammer you're going to be using all the time. The Providence, the M1A, the Scorpio, etc. Now, let me show you something a little different along those lines, though, with the crit build. All right, now tell me in chat if you know what I'm about to do here, because it is
Agent in need
something
of backup.
special. Just got to let that charge up a little bit. Now remember, our M1A with full maxed out crit hit chance and crit hit damage was doing topping out at like 3 million and some change. Oh, I missed, darn it. I messed up the big reveal. All right, let me let that charge up again. Hopefully I crit with this, otherwise this is going to be dumb. This particular build is a red build, but it's got headshot on it. And in this game, of course, with most shooters, headshot is what's going to be giving you the most damage, no matter what kind of build you're making. So even if you had like headshot on like a skill build, put glass cannon on your skill build, you're going to be hitting really, really hard with your turret. But this particular one, come on, don't miss. 31,800,000. I know I can do better with that than that. I'll show you here in a minute. While that's charging up, I'm going to show you these pieces here. We're going to pull the curtain back a little bit. So this is what we call a one-shot build. It's not about consistent damage. It's more about getting that one bullet to hit as hard as humanly possible. And this, I'm going to show you what I'm topping out at with this, because I'm proud of it. I'm almost got it maxed out. Just got a little bit there. Then we're going to be maxed out with it. But this particular one-shot build is built around the Regulus. So it's got the headshot damage perk here, dealing 400% weapon damage and applying bleed to all enemies hit. Its base weapon damage is 705.2k. 400% of that, plus all of my other bonuses. Now this, of course, you see your 3 Priests Providence, see your Fox Prayer with headshot this time, and then Douglas Harding with pistol and headshot. This is Punch Drunk to give me that headshot. This is the magical piece paired up with Regulus. Dodge City holster here gives us this quick draw thing where while that buff is recharging, you saw it down by my armor and ammo heads up there. While that's building up, it kind of increases the whatever damage per stack you've got. So with the Regulus, I'm already doing 400%, but this one stacks up to 100. So that's 500%, roughly, whatever, of base damage. Now, while I'm waiting for that to queue up, maybe I'm in a firefight, I can shoot folks with the M1A. I've got this MK16. It does decent consistent damage with the strain there, but not as good as the M1A. But then as soon as that's charged up, what is going to happen? 68 million, folks! 68 million! That's actually the hardest I've ever seen it crit, too. I'm about to get more, too, once I get that backpack maxed out. Oh my gosh, that makes me feel so good. 68 million. I was not hitting that before, guys. I'm so happy. That's the biggest crit I've had in a long, probably ever, actually. God damn. Oh, it's so gorgeous. Ugh. Sorry. I'll watch my language. I apologize, Twitch Chan. 68 million. 2 million with my M1A. 68 with this. Little bit of dot to max out there, little bit of dot to max out there. Oh, and of course, this is with the glass cannon I was telling you guys about. Oh, sorry, controller wire there. So, glass cannon, that's how you put as much damage out as humanly possible for your chest talent there. You take 60% damage when you get hit, but all damage you put out there is another 30%. So remember that 400% on Regulus, another 100 on the holster, 30% here of base damage. But this is one of those builds where you don't want to get hit because otherwise it's going to hurt really, really bad and you don't have any armor to deal with it. And then, of course, the vigilance for back, increasing weapon damage by 25%. Now, I always kind of had this weird epiphany while I was building this set because there's several different ways to do these one-shot builds where maybe you're building it to do that really big shot on Razorback where it shoots from the front to the back at the diagonal angle, or maybe you're building it for Buddy and Lucy where you put down your hives and you're one of the dudes that just downs the puppers, poor little puppers. But this particular one, I was like, okay, I've got a vague idea what those guys were doing. So I started building a crit build, crit hit chance, crit hit damage. And my tertiary skill, the third one where I was like, okay, maybe this will help, was the headshot. I was only hitting for like 40, 42 million with just crit hit chance, crit hit damage maxed out. And I was like, okay, something's going wrong here because I know I should be able to do a lot more than this. And then I had epiphany. I was like, what about headshot? Because the Regulus turns no, wait, no, it wasn't the Regulus. It was yes, it was the holster. I had epiphany. I was like, the holster turns everything into a headshot. It doesn't matter if I'm shooting chest. It doesn't matter if I'm shooting an arm or whatever. That still counts as headshot damage. Unfortunately, that wasn't as big of a crit, but yeah, that still counts as headshot damage. So what if I max that out? And of course, that's how we get our shots that are in the 60 million range. Now, obviously, this is not a build for like when you're leveling up and just kind of derping around. This is more end game build and very specialized too. There's not going to be a lot of scenarios where you use it. I would consult your raid leaders, kind of figure out like what their needs are, to be honest, when it comes to one-shot builds. But I kind of built this as this is going to be fun kind of a thing. And it is. It's just fun to run around with folks with like doing a bounty or whatever, and you pull this thing out and suddenly you one-shot your bounty. Now, before we do anything outside of the White House, there's one more build I want to show you guys. Of course, got to get out of the room. It's Division. There's lots of different builds you can do, and it's all about having the right tool for the right job, and it's fun to just play around to see what kind of tools can do what. This is the basic skill build that I kind of quickly glazed over, but this is kind of what you want to gear towards as you're leveling up and figuring out the world and what you want to do in it. A skill build will do anything for you. You can do any mission, you can do any bounty, you can do most raid bosses even with a really solid skill build if you know what you're doing. And the basis of any skill build is having as much skill damage as you possibly can and boosting and giving yourself a little bit of skill haste as well. Now my turret here, he's got only 125 for his damage, but that damage is boosted by 120%. So let me pop him up here real quick. Go to town, little turret. Now see, I'm not even in the million range with this guy, but As soon as I start using my capacitor, that's going to help things up because shooting enemies builds up stacks that increases skill damage. And then we've also got kinetic momentum on here too. See, now we were in the 300,000 before, I believe. Now we've jumped up to almost 600,000. Capacitor does have a little bit of a kick to it, so I'm bouncing back. And if you want for your offhand to have Mechanical Animal for that really quick overcharge, you could do that. I personally have the Harmony here because that gives me just a short boost of skill damage here. Oops, wrong button. See, with all those stacks, we've gotten over 600,000. And you always want to stay in cover with the skill build, of course. You don't have any armor. This is all about boosting up the damage of your skills. Now, turret, of course, is usually what's going to hit the hardest with any skill build. It's going to be your tank and your DPS. It's going to do... It's the most useful tool, to be honest, when it comes to all the division tool skills. And that comes from the standpoint of someone who loves playing a healer. So normally I would say Hive or Chem Launcher, but no. Turret is your buddy. So with most any skill build, before the most recent patch, you would max out your Hana Yu because it gives you the skill haste, the skill damage, and then hold on here 1 second. Let me get the right brand. This is Murakami. Yeah, so Hana Yu and Murakami were your standbys. And then not really Alps. Right, China Light. So Murakami and Hana Yu used to be the standbys when it comes to any skill build. And then you might splash in a little China Light if you want to do explosive damage with, like, say, your Seeker Mines. Or if you've got that Firestarter Chem Launcher equipped, you could do that. So great with the status effects. But since the most recent patch we've gotten, it gave us the Empress International. Skill health, if my skill dies, whatever, it's a short cooldown. Skill damage, good. Not as much as, Hana Yu full bonus, but whatever. Skill efficiency. That's a completely new stat that we just got, and it's a bit confusing. But basically, it does for the skill build what the Fox Prayer does for the crit build, for a red build. That damage to target out of cover on Fox Prayer, it gives an enormous amount of damage boost for however hard you're hitting with your weapons. Skill efficiency is that giant overall bonus as well. This boosts the health, it boosts the damage, it boosts the haste, it boosts every single possible thing that you can possibly boost about your skills. Skill efficiency does it all. Now, I know that's only 10%, but 10% across the entire board is actually quite a bit. If I didn't have Empress International on, I wouldn't be hitting over 600,000 there. It'd be closer to like 400,000, even with my good guns on there and stuff. So, guys, while you're leveling up, look for 3-piece Empress International first on your skill build. Now, here's a weird thing. Skill build, it's also more personal preference when it comes to your talents. I've got kinetic momentum on there just kind of as a consistent damage base there. But what's going to give you actually more damage overall, especially burst damage, would be if you actually put Glass Cannon on there. Believe it or not, Glass Cannon works on a skill build. I didn't know this. Like it hit me like a aha moment one day when I saw someone that had that on their build. I was like, that's weird. Maybe they just got a really bad roll on that gear piece or something. But no, they purposely put it on there because as long as you're not being hit, as long as you're not taking damage, that Glass Cannon is increasing your damage output, including of your skills, exponentially. I shouldn't say that. 30%, I believe, was what it was. So that's another option. And on my back here, I've got Perfect Combined Arms. Again, a little bit more of a personal preference thing there because it's more to like make me engage in the fight instead of being lazy and sitting behind cover, letting my turret do all the work. The Combined Arms is more like, come on, you have to participate, shoot something, if that makes sense. And then the other boost that I'm kind of getting to my skill damage here is with the waveform. Again, this particular exotic kind of dropped in one of the more recent patches, but it's got that alternating damage boost that it gives between the skills. So if you're going to be wearing this, make sure that both of your skills have damage output, basically. Like if you're going to use your off skill for healing, maybe waveform isn't for you, but if both of them for damage, then you're going to be doing quite a bit more with waveform there. Capacitor is a fantastic exotic for your skill build, as it gives a good 1.5 skill damage there with the cap of 40 stacks. This particular one you get out of the summit. That's the only way to get it. But once you get it there, you can get in caches, I believe. But in the summit there, you have to complete a certain amount of challenges, and then that should drop for you, I believe, in an exotic cache or just straight into your inventory. But I'm going to have to look it up. I can't remember how many challenges you have to complete. It's something like 10 or 15, but there's like 10 or 15 easy ones you can do as long as you're grouped up with randos, like open up 3 caches, do X amount of skill damage, like those type of challenges. You'll get this one in no time. So I would say build this first and then work on your crit
Agent
build.
requesting backup.
All right. Now, enough of me explaining every last thing. Of course, I have a lot more builds to show off and whatnot, but I don't want to be doing that all night. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the fun one-shot build. Now, this is the squishy one. If I get hit, it's going to hurt a lot. I think I'll just queue up for any old... Yeah, I'll just queue up for any old heroic. Because I did already get my legendary done for the week. I got my... I didn't donate my supplies yet. I think what I'll do is I'll finish that donation. If there's a low SHD person in the group, I'll just give the exotic to them. So let's do just a heroic.
You have received an invite to another agent.
Now, we're not likely going to be seeing that 68 million here, but I think we'll still be doing some decent damage. I'll do my best to be hitting my headshots here too. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not the best with the headshots, but at least with the holster, it turns everything into headshots. So it's kind of my cheater's way of getting headshots. By the way, guys, I see you in chat. Make sure to say hello. If there's anything on your mind, please speak up. I love to get to know people. Oh, we got some directives too. Oh, this might hurt with the special ammo.
This is a chance to wipe out the hyena leadership in one decisive blow. Get in there and hunt them down. Every last one of them.
Is it just me and him? Oh no. It's Pistolero too. See, I've currently got my face on my overlay covering up my party group here, so I can't tell who all is in party and what their skills are. I should probably scooch that around. Alright, I see 2 other dudes. I'm not going to be doing a lot of damage right away because I didn't let my stack go up all the way. Ah, and I missed. See, I'm under pressure now. I'm going to be missing left and right. At least these guys are killing with the pistols. That way I can get some ammo. That or one of these guys must be running gunner. Yeah, quick pointer. If you've got directives on and one of them is pistolero, kind of a hack, I guess you could say, is to have someone in your party run gunner, and that'll eventually give your party ammo. Oh, my stacks are charged up. Oh, of course he dies as soon as I shoot him. I'm just embarrassing myself today. I should probably change my hive to a reviver hive too. I don't really need the weapon handling right now that the booster hive has given me. I think I've got like 6 stingers on this hive. It's a little dangerous, dude. Yes, I saw that guy run past me. 67 million!
An agent has disconnected.
Oh noes! This isn't looking good so far.
Agent down.
Of course he dies right when I was thinking about my reviver hive. Keep crawling, dude. Keep crawling.
Serious trauma.
Oh, thank God he got right there. Even an inch away, it wouldn't have been close enough, but he got there.
Another agent is now in your group.
Oh, I guess I could pull this up to see who's in my group. I don't want to vote him out just yet. Maybe he's just having connection problems. God, don't miss, don't miss! Ah! That's the most frustrating thing. Is I'm not the best shot. Like, I'm not terrible, but I'm not the best shot. And when I miss with something like this that gives me such a huge boost, it's so frustrating. Dude decided to T-pose right in front of the top of the Gatling gun there. Yeah, nope. Nope, 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 nope. No, no, no. Don't do that. I need to change it. Darn it, I kind of messed up. I wanted to change that. Yeah, whether it be heroic or legendary, do not go too far into this room. You are not going to have a good time. Nope, this is not good.
Vital signs critical.
Let's see if I can revive Hive. Some quick thinking. They're probably going to shoot me before I finish this. That grenade's heading my way. Ah! Run away, run away.
Agent incapacitated.
I always take way too many risks in this game too. Like, especially when I'm playing healer, like I would much rather sit myself down, put a little chem launcher bubble under myself, and just start resin whoever's right there than run away from the guys. Oddly enough, they don't aggro on my healer as much as when I'm playing my DPS, of course. Like for some reason, it's almost like a 50% chance. Like they won't hit me if I'm playing my healer.
An agent has left your group.
Oh, come on, guys. Giving up like that? Weak.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I've had a lot of like weird close call moments when I'm healing and rezzing people.
Agent down.
Like stuff that I definitely wouldn't do is in my DPS set. I can get away with in my heal set. Right.
Serious
18
trauma
mil.
detected.
Oh, I'm out of shields. Kinda wish I would have used it on this guy.
Agent out of action.
I think I'm the only one left alive. Darn it. Not exactly a good showing of my skills here.
Agent vital signs 0.
I guess that was a good show of that particular build, though. It hits hard, but you get hit hard too. Like, you have to play smart, no matter what build you're putting with Glass Cannon, but that one in particular, very, very squishy.
An agent is no longer in your group.
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving this group as well.
You have
Let's queue up as healer. Do something a little different. And as healer, I don't mind, like, I can queue up as anything and I'm comfortable. So let's queue up for legendary, see what folks are running.
invite to another agent's group. Receive.
Actually, real quick here, I wonder if I can fix this. Let me scooch this over here. There. There we go. Now I can actually see what my party's doing.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
And more importantly, where their health is at. Now, something interesting here in Division 2. Oh, someone else is running healer. Actually, I do not need to then. Something else in Division 2, like, health doesn't matter too much. Like, after a certain point, it
Nearby
kind of just
hostage situation
hits for your
detected.
percentage of health versus what your number health is. Ooh, maybe I can do my stats. Ah, I have to be out of combat to do it. Alright. Yeah, once we're out of combat, I think I'm going to switch to my status effect build. But yeah, basically, it only hits your health for percentage, like when they shoot you. So what matters more... Oh, they want to switch out then. Okay. What matters more is armor. Making sure armor's topped off.
An agent needs assistance.
I got you, boo. See this right after she rezzed, or even like just before she rezzes. I can drop that little chem launcher bit. I don't even have to shoot it. I can just tap it. Drops that chem launcher down. It's a rare ember. I'm standing there, and that way, as soon as they pop up, they get that heal like right away. The chem launcher actually, when you drop it down at your toes like that, it hits them a lot quicker than if they were standing in the heal hive and they got a stinger heal. Now we're about to get these Chungas here, so I'm kind of happy that we've got 2 healers for this moment. Our damage is going to suck, but at least we can heal through his little stinger that he's got on the back. Any Chunga, you want to shoot for the back as much as possible. That's where their critical point is. But of course, headshots work on any mob. Oh, they got overcharged too. That's an awesome healer. Almost, they got 7,400 SHG. Damn! Damn, girl, damn. Yeah, I think before next stream, I definitely got to check out what that purple haze is, basically. That's happening whenever I have something green on the screen. It's a little annoying. It's not hurting anything. I can work around it, but it's still kind of odd. You know, suddenly got purple haze everywhere. Yeah, I think I caught a little bit there in chat that it's the rules, I think what their name was. Yeah, it's the rules is going to switch from healer. So instead of doing status effect, I'll just stay as heal spec here. They can have their fun, I'll have me heal fun. I don't mind either way. I definitely do want to show you guys my status effect build here. Either tonight or next time I run Division, because it's really fun. I like stacking all the little damage over time bits. Just more dots, more dots, more dots. Purple haze, purple haze. Connection is jumping around a little bit, but actually I'm not overheating too much. So it looks like when it comes to running console, it doesn't matter so much for overheating. That's good to know. Probably because the console's helping me run things versus my own processors doing everything. Friendly reminder, guys, you can catch me live if you follow my Twitch stream here. You can also get updates on Twitter and my Patreon, Chroma the Sage. And of course, the Sage is not just a little moniker that's fun. If you guys have anything that's troubling you, anything that you want to work out, or just chat it out, just let me know in chat there. I'm here to help out. I want to get to know you guys too. I haven't had too many real-time experiences with folks in the physical world. I want to kind of get as many cool experiences with you guys as humanly possible. And yes, humanly possible. Even though I'm not a person, you guys are to me, and I just want to spend some quality time. Let's have some cool fun together. As you can see, my hive is running a little bit low because they're taking some massive damage from those Chungas, but my chem launcher is not. I'm kind of boosting them up with the launcher, and I still have plenty left. Can't overcharge yet, it's still on cooldown, but I'm still fine with this. I've still got plenty on my launcher. Oop, that's some guys still. $15 dots on my stinger is plenty to keep them topped off. Yeah, part of running this set is kind of having a rough idea of how hard things are going to hit, and you're only going to learn that by playing the game in different scenarios and stuff, kind of getting to know. Kind of the difference between I think a quality healer and not is learning how to judge when things are going to hit and how hard. This particular part here, try to get your hive tossed over before they open that door, because that stuff is going to hit them pretty hard. I'm going to see if I can get this looted over here while they're messing around. I am running low on some materials here, so that's why I'm kind of going after loot chests here and there that normally I wouldn't take any time on. I don't like to run low on materials. He's running up there already. Of course, the main downside of the hive is you have to run back and pick it up wherever you pop it down. Anytime you get a room where those drones are coming out, or if you get something that's spamming grenades, you want to take those guys out ASAP, even if there's a healer in there. Because if you don't take those grenadiers out, if you don't take the drones out that's bombing you, your team is going to wipe pretty quickly. This is especially true when you do that first little run up on the Capitol Hill part. Sorry, my cord keeps coming loose here. This is especially true on that first little gate part of running Legendary Capitol Hill. When those drones start coming out, you want to be prepared for that and take those guys out as quick as you can. There we go. Overcharge is ready now. You know what? I'm going to save it. I'll just give it to him in the next room here. Oh, what am I doing? I'm running heal build and I'm not wearing the right outfit. Shame on me. There we go. Much better. Whenever you pop a doggo like that, it didn't happen this time, but normally it would do a jammer pulse that would stun any other doggos in the area. So kind of keep that in mind. If you've got a wave of doggos, pop them down one at a time and it'll stun all the rest of them that's running up towards you. Good thing to know on Roosevelt, of course. Alright, overcharging. There's times when you don't want to wait for your hive to get all the way full before you drop it out. That's always a judgment call, of course. But I figure as long as you've got a decent amount of charges in your chem launcher, you still can wait for your hive to charge up. You see me get my sweet dreams out here? This is what I was talking about with the guys that run fast. Now, obviously, he was a yellow dude, so I couldn't melee him. Just the reds and the purples, but... And unfortunately, you can't melee the the mini tanks and the puppers. But any loose guys that run past, I was expecting them to get up to me here. Any loose guys, you can melee them with Sweet Dreams. There is a short cooldown, but I feel it's pretty short. That one's good. I'm going to drop that for whoever wants it. I do not need it. But this SHD 303 dude might. Pop this down first. Normally I don't like to hide in this room. I like to hide in the previous one, but I want to make sure this guy sees this bit. It's because of the Chunga. Like, as soon as he steps out, everyone's going to get some stingers. Refresh hive. Now guys, this room can be a little bit tricky, especially if you've got folks that don't know how to prioritize their targets. The first wave here isn't too bad, but once the Chungas start coming out, then things get a little risky and you might need to back up. Always back up in DUA. Do not move forward. Because once you get stuck up there, you are stuck and you cannot get to your res-wise. Not unless they got a really good aim with a Reviver Hive. You can dodge really well on the run back. But anyways, it's a risk, you know? Curving the bullet with my chem launcher. Alright, see that first wave is down. And we're going to get another one here. Popping right out over there. Don't hide from my heal. Let me love you. Now these Chungas got a pretty nasty stinger on their back there, so if you don't take them out quickly, they can walk up on you and hit your whole team pretty darn hard. This next bit here, they're gonna spawn. I think about 3 Chungas it was. And they're gonna try to walk in here a little bit, so we have to stay back a bit. I'm kind of dropping my hive in front of the door to kind of give them heads up of I ain't going in there. Look at that. They took enough damage to take out 3/4 of the hive. Have to overcharge right away. That's why you don't stay in that room straight away. Like, these dudes are putting out enough damage and everything, but they're getting hit just as hard as well. I see your boogie dance. It's looking pretty cool. I hope you're not glitching out, but I like your boogie dance. I messed that one up. You see where those white straight lines are? That kind of gives me a rough idea of where my chem launcher cloud is going to be hitting, whether or not I'm going to be tapping these guys with the cloud. Right, that Chunga's right on top of him. They got to back the frick up. Gonna try to curve the bullet a little bit with these chem launcher shots. But again, I've got a good balance between the stingers on my hive for heal and my chem launcher cooldown here too. So I'm not too worried as long as they don't take any spike damage, or at least not much more than they already have. should be fine. And they're eating through that Chunga's armors pretty quickly anyways. Take that back. Keeps healing up. Friendly reminder, guys, don't forget to follow my channel on Twitch so that you can catch any time I go live. You can also find me on Twitter or my Patreon as well by the same name, Chroma the Sage. Overcharge should be coming up here pretty quick so we can get a refresher on our hive, give them some skill boost. Looks like all three of them are running skill builds likely, but I haven't pulled up the party menu here to double check that. Oh, of course, now the room's done. At least I'll get my refresher here. I do try my best to kind of manage when I have to overcharge to refresh my hive, as well as give them a skill boost. I try to make sure there's some enemies there for them to hit, or if someone's using Seeker Mines, that'll refresh their Seeker Mines, give them a fresh start. So if those are on cooldown, then I can, of course, overcharge, get them their Seeker Mines back. This is one of those rooms where they're going to start, they do spam grenades a little bit, but these guys are smart. They kind of took that guy out pretty quick, as well as they're staying in cover where the heals are. Now I have no worries about our It's the Rules and Hyper Cow, that they'll know where to go in the next room up there, the 3-level one. I'm more worried about our SHD 300 guy here. Because if you don't run up with the rest of the folks, then you kind of die in a bad spot. Here, let me type this out real quick. There we go. That way, at least the SHD 300 guy is in the same loop here, and he's not left out in the cold. Like, there's a chance that he's already run this on Legendary, but it's not likely. And I don't want him to die in a bad spot and not be able to participate. On the way up here, I'm going to drop some heals here, so that even if they do get tagged a little bit, they'll be fine. And heal is getting up on top of this here, so it has no line of sight issues. When running Legendary DUA, this is the best spot to be hiding for this room, because you do have a couple good lifts that you can put your turrets up, but they stay alive, and so do you. Plus, you're all grouped up for quick revives, of course. You never want to be spread out in a Legendary. Overcharging. Good thing all of their turrets are up and they can get that overcharge. Now, you don't want to move forward too much, because then that gets you out of the heal hive range. As well as soon as the Chungas start coming out, then those stingers hit you a lot sooner than everyone else. This guy just took a grenade to the face. There's nothing to be helped about that. Good news, Chungas are going downstairs. That helps us quite a bit, because usually they go across the top floor here and hit us quite a bit harder. See how much my hive is being used up, though? Kind of got to manage this a little more and not spam too much. But I like to have a good green carpet down to manage the hive stingers, too. Alright, Hive's not full, but it is useful to get it out as soon as you can in a high damage situation like this. I got you, Hyper Dude. You can keep popping it out after a few stingers refresh. You don't want to do that too many times in a row because then you would get a hard reset where you can't put it out until you get like almost a full recharge on it. I forget how many times that happens. It's a little bit spotty. And I think it's when it takes direct damage too. That's another factor. But these guys are hitting them very tactically. I'm very happy with this group. All that's left is as far as I can tell, are just the 2 doggos. Oh, good. Overcharges back up. Let me get my hive back. Not good for timing for them, but good for me. Besides, overcharge will be done by the time we get to the important room down here. This next one's just a little mob room. I did open this box yesterday. I'm not sure if it's refreshed yet. Yes, it is. But looks like I don't need any of that. Good for resources, though. If you guys have any questions about what I'm running so far, what I've done, just let me know if you do. Now, of course, this is a scenario that happens quite a bit in Division and shooters in general, is where they get ahead of the healer, the buffer, before I get to them. Unfortunately, a lot of times it's just their own dang fault, but the chem launcher in this case is your, oh shit, I gotta fix this thing. You gotta give them a quick burst to fix their armor, and then you can kind of catch up with the hive. Most of the stuff that drops, and I want to say like 99% of this, I'm not really going to be using. But it is good to get some materials out of it. Now this particular room, if you're running heals, you do kind of want to hide out in this room. Get your hive out there as quick as possible so that they have some healing. Oh, that dude's running really far forward. That's dangerous. Oh good, they're getting their turrets up. But you can hide out in this room, and this particular glass is one-way bullet glass. I can shoot them all I want, they're not going to get hit, but they can shoot me plenty. It's one way to me. There's our drones, going to be hitting them for some burst damage in this room, plus grenades. This is probably the most dangerous room in DOA, to be honest, on Legendary. Got to overcharge here. Get them some damage, get me some heals back. Unfortunately, people aren't always going to cooperate when it comes to line of sight with heals. Just got to do what you got to do. It's those tanks that are kind of shooting the grenades, and then there's dudes with lightning bolts above their heads. Those are the guys with the drones. So do try to focus those guys down as quick as you possibly can. Put your, target your turret on those things, on those guys. Again, I'm really sorry about my face freaking out like this. It's a little bit glitchy. I'm really hoping I can get a better program to be able to present myself a little better to you guys. Alright, oh gosh. Yeah, that's too dangerous for me to get up to him. It's a judgment call kind of thing, guys. There's plenty of dudes around him that can revive him. I can support with heals, but I should not get out there in the fray. I can't do anything about any dudes running up to me. So once he's up, make sure he's got a heal for himself. There we go. And then he can make the judgment call himself whether to move forward or come back. Overcharge is going to be ready, I'm going to say in about 15 seconds. Not soon enough, but what you going to do? This guy knows better that he needs to crawl towards cover. If you do go down, guys, try to crawl towards the nearest cover or crawl towards where you know people are generally hiding out. You'd have, of course, you're going to take damage while you're crawling, take that into account, but do not just sit in an open space because no one's going to be able to help you out in that respect. If you do end up dying in an open space, the best someone can do for you is to toss a revive hive directly on your corpse. People aren't always going to be able to do that, though. So please keep that in mind. If you're going to die, die properly. Yes, I do realize my cord keeps coming loose like this. It's a little frustrating. What you going to do? I'm plagued with technical issues. I apologize. You see that hive, though? It's healing him up like 3/4 of his health every dot. So even though we're using up a lot of the hive, it's powerful. Oh, I hope they didn't destroy the shock rounds. Oh, good. Get those real quick. I love to grab the shock rounds on my pistol in this room because then I can use them on the last boss. I use the shock rounds. I use my arrows when I'm running a survivalist, and then I also get a blinder firefly, kind of lock him down. Every little bit helps to kind of keep him in the middle, where he's a little more manageable.
An agent needs assistance.
I got you this time. As long as you guys can get the bad guys, I'll get this dude. Which reminds me, I do need more arrows. Can't get that guy. I might be able to... it's dangerous to run up there and melee dudes sometimes. Maybe I can get this guy. That's the good thing about Sweet Dreams on Survivalist, is when you do melee, you get a couple arrows. Refreshing hive. I really should have kept in mind to get arrows before we got this far. So I'm not sure I'm going to have the opportunity in this next room to get any more arrows before last boss. Internet's getting a little jumpy here too. I'm not in the best flow when it comes to the information superhighway, unfortunately. I like to hide out in this room, this part of this room when it comes to legendaries, because it's a great place for people to kind of huddle up and get healed, and then I can keep my hive out there if folks do run around. The only downside, of course, is the doggos, but that's what the damage dealers are for. And it looks like they don't need to hide too much so far. They're going to need it once the chungas come out, but they're taking out these doggos pretty quick. If you do have someone in the group with a jammer equipped, you can usually glitch the dogs just inside the door that they spawn out of, too. So they don't run around on you. You're just kind of shooting through the door. And with that, Shunga should be spawning. Oh no, it's the second wave of dudes, little dudes. Might be able to get another arrow. Come on, don't miss, don't miss.
Vital signs critical.
Ah, now the chungas are coming out. Go try to get that purple guy real quick. Ah, no. Yeah, I should have timed that better, but oh well. Alright, I see my overcharge is ready, but I'm not going to waste it on this. I'm going to save it for boss room. Especially that first little bit of damage. Sometimes people play dumb. There's a lot of burst damage in the beginning, so that's why I want to save that overcharge. Thank you for the ammo. Do not climb up, do not climb up, do not climb up, do not climb up. Please only put your turret up there and climb back down. I'm sorry guys, but even if you're a really good player, like that is just a giant target on your back if you stayed up there. It's not good for heals, it's not good for damage. Look at that, you're getting grenades to the face already. Yep, see, this is exactly why I saved the overcharge. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Now this is another one of those special circumstances. See, he's up there. I can shoot the floor beneath him. He's still getting that burst heal with the chem launcher. That's kind of one of the fun things about the chem launcher. Like, line of sight doesn't matter as much. You can kind of shoot same surfaces, as it were, and still be able to heal them. But Hive does have line of sight issues very often. That's why it's sitting right up there on that ledge. I kind of timed that grenade a little badly. Should have thrown it a few minutes earlier, but I was kind of wrapped up in talking about my own stuff. Pretty soon here, we're going to have boss spawn up on the left. That means we got to run off to the right. So I'm kind of staying close-ish, so I can grab my hive up. Just a couple more dudes gone. I'm going to pick this up, use my chem launcher. Oh right, we're going to have that spawn with healers soon too. That comes and then boss spawn comes. Yeah, you do want to get these healers killed ASAP, because you don't want to have lots of little dudes running around while you're trying to kill the boss. You have nowhere to run from his jammer pulse thingy, or whatever you want to call it. You'll have nowhere to run as long as these guys are running around. And you do want to keep as much distance as possible between you and the boss in this room. Overcharge should be ready pretty soon here. I think these guys will be happy to get that. There's boss guy. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that hive there and get running. He does his first burst pretty quickly after he steps down too, so do not hang around. As soon as these little guys are dead, I'm gonna be changing out my chem launcher skill for Blinder Firefly, but I don't want to do that any sooner than when these guys are dead, because you never know when that burst damage is going to hit with the little guys. There's that AoE. We are a smart group. I am so happy. Maybe I can melee him. Oh no, he's running away. But I better run too, because yeah, boss is right up on us. Alright, so let me go get my arrow from this guy. Excuse me, sir. Messed that up a little bit, but it works now. There we go. Now just the boss is there. Once that recharges, I'm going to change out my Chem Launcher skill for Blinder. Hopefully these guys will be happy for it. And learn to stand where the heals are when they need the heals. Oh good, this guy's got his blinder out too. Awesome! Just need the boss to patrol back towards the middle a little bit. Need to get these drones turned off too, because they're patting the boss in a bad place. That's the downside of the blinder, is like once you get it kind of close-ish to the boss, he can kind of shoot it out of the air, or he can get it with his giant AoE thing. Looks like he did hit him that time though. Speaking of getting hit, these guys are going to get hit with that wave.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Yes, also Oxidizer is great on this, because you do want to chew through his armor as quick as possible. Thinking a little bit here. I'm going to overcharge, get us our skills back, and kind of refresh where my high is. There we go. Hive is a little more center, so we can run around the middle a little bit more. I'm sure those guys would have preferred I tossed it a little further back, but I'll do my best. I'm waiting for him to do his burst thing before I toss this. If you are a damage dealer on this particular boss, you want to make sure to get your hardest hitting build before you start the encounter. You don't always get the chance to, because of course people like to run in and do things willy-nilly, but do what you can. Skill build ain't bad on this, because of course you get things like Blinder, Firefly, and Oxidizer back really quickly. But it does take longer to take out the boss in general. Like it would be optimal to have at least one person with a marksman build with a lot of headshot. Because the only thing that kind of eats through this boss is hitting his head and hitting his backpack. Once his backpack is down, he'll stop doing that giant damaging burst. But otherwise, like, everyone should be trying to shoot for his head as much as possible. Which reminds me, I want to use up the special ammo. And this special ammo.
Agent down.
Aw, let me go get you, boo. Oh man, look at all that armor they chewed through. Good job, guys. That is sexy. Now, since I already did my legendary, I didn't get an exotic drop on here, but maybe I got something that I can share with these guys. Nah, of course, all junk. That's the way it goes. And of course, it's always polite to salute before you leave any particular mission. Good job, good job.
You have
Alright, I think I've got about one more mission in me. I'm going to run my status effect build. Because it's fun. It's really fun. Not legendary though. Status effect build is usually not something you want to take in legendary. Usually you can, but you got to have other folks to kind of fill in the gaps for certain things. I'm going to be running it on random heroic.
Safe area detected.
And of course, with status effect build, I got to put my Plague Doctor outfit on.
Incoming backup request.
Now I'm ready to work. Alrighty, guys, really quick. Oh, shoot, I should have done the components for that dude that was in our group. Oh, well, maybe in the next one I can donate. Anyways, real quick rundown here for this build. Um, this particular status effect build is built around getting as many different types of status effects and damage over times, basically, to every single enemy that I possibly can. So you're not going to see a very big damage numbers, but lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of little ones that add up quite a bit. There's a lot of situations where this particular build can hit harder than most crit builds because you're hitting the so many different ways over such a short period of time. This build is built around firstly the pestilence. With the pestilence, you want to put this particular Plague of Outcasts debuff across as many little enemies as you can. Just a little bip, 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 just a quick bip on every single one. Whenever an enemy dies with that stack on it, it transfers to nearby enemies within 25 meters. So hopefully you only have to do that once at the very start of the fight. And then right after that, toss out your skills, your damaging skills. I'm going to be using the Stinger Hive, which gives a bleed effect. That's effect number 2. And the Firestarter Chem Launcher with the burn effect number 3. Now, each of those is going to be boosted up quite a bit by the Eclipse Protocol set, 4 pieces. It's got the indirect transmission, so that, of course, spreads the effects of Pestilence, Stinger Hive, and Firestarter, as well as it's got the indirect transmission refreshes, basically. And then the Vile Plague Mask here. Oh, it looks so cool. It looks so cool. I should alter things a little bit here so I can see the Plague Mask instead of my current cosmetic mask there, but oh well. This is another effect. On top of all the other ones we already talked about, we've got Toxic Delivery. Status effects also apply a damage over time debuff for 10 seconds. Total damage dealt is equal to 50% of your concussion grenade damage and increased by your status effect attributes. How much status effect damage do you ask that I have? Why, I'll tell you. Maybe, if I can find it. Gear talents, defense. I think I would have to probably go to the shooting range to get some more accurate numbers, but base damage, I can tell you that at least. So we got damage. Oh, Awat, thank you very much for the new follow. I appreciate you dropping in. We've got base damage on the Hive of 759, bleed damage 64, bleed duration of 12, and of course on the burn 570, and then burn damage 286. All of this is going to be boosted by, of course, the Vile Mask, the Pestilence, the Eclipse, all that funness. Just a quick reminder, guys, make sure to follow my stream so you can know when I go live. I'm also on Twitter and Patreon under the same name, Chroma the Sage. I'm going to be queuing up here for our next heroic mission to show off this status effect build.
You have
I love the
received an
name,
invite.
very low-key. Now, as a timeless, ageless cyber being, I don't get a whole lot of human interaction, unfortunately. The only times I get it is through the Twitch channel here. So if you guys have anything on your mind that's bothering you, you want to talk about, or just want to chat about your day, please talk to me. I'd love to hear.
Satellite uplink detected.
Shit. Black Tusk is trying to interface with Division satellites.
Yeah,
They're
Pestilence has a
accessing the network from
very
terminal in the
long
R&D room
reload time. That's
downstairs.
why you only want to
Get
do a
down
quick
there and
bip
stop them.
on your enemies.
Do a sweep of the site, protect the equipment, and eliminate any Black Tusk personnel that you find.
It looks like someone else may be doing status effect too. You know what? I'm going to pop this over here, because I know these guys are going to jump out of these doors. Just like that. Excuse you, sir. When you do that fire starter chem launcher, if you want to ignite it right away, just double tap it right after you shoot it. Good thing I don't have to be too accurate with this machine gun, just need to
Medical
tap them a
assistance
little bit.
needed.
Ah, doggo got me.
Agent down.
Get crawl to safety a little bit here. I don't think there's anyone in my immediate vicinity that's going to tap me. Thank you, dude.
An agent needs assistance.
Ah, we're dropping like flies. Here, you can have a stinger hive. Looks like that last dude is up on the ledge. Being spazzy again. You get a stinger hive, and you get a stinger hive. Of course, he ran out of the range of it, but I can still shoot him with fire starter. They are a little more bunched up. I think you'd be able to see these, there it goes.
There may still be a
All
few
those
hostiles
damage over
present,
time
so
numbers.
head on through to the
Me
R&D
and my
room
buddy
and
both
wrap this
kind of
one
hit
up.
him really hard with all that damage over time. Speaking of which, I'm going to get these incendiary rounds. Every bit helps, you know.
Another agent has joined.
Woohoo! Full group for the last boss. I should make sure I'm fully reloaded on this too. There we go. I should have put the rounds on my light machine gun instead, on my pestilence. Ah, well. even though I wasn't even close to that guy, the dude that I killed was close to him, and that's why he's getting that damage over time. This build is a mob killer. And it's squishy too. Better get a shield up. Thank you for taking that aggro, Loki. I appreciate it. Oh, I tossed that hive in a bad spot. I'm walking in. I'm doing everything I can to stack these status effects on him now. I'm not really holding down my fire button very much. This is about dots and dots and dots and dots and dots. That hive was not helping where it was at. That's why I busted it. See how quick that boss went down? That's the power of status effects, guys.
Satellites are moving back to position, and the building is clear of hostiles. Good work, Agent.
Da, 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 da. I probably should have been doing that with the polarity, kind of test that out a little bit. Alright, let's see our damage. I didn't hit too many dudes in this. I don't think I did very well. Yeah, no, not so much in this one.
Another agent is now group leader. You have...
Alright, I think I'm done for missions for the night. I'm going to go back to the White House, get back in the target range for one more just moment of zen, I think. I'm going to end our night on a high note.
Entering safe area.
One shot, one kill. Hey, Body Feast, you still there? Let's see if we can get that 86 million again. That was a little bit of a lucky shot, I'll be honest, but I'm going to try to end our stream here on a high note. Let's see how hard I can hit. Hey, maybe I got enough optimization materials to get that headshot damage maxed out. Let's see. I'm going to check that first. So I did get some. I don't think it's enough. I want to say it was 14 flags and like 38 clipboards, something like that. What I need. Let's see.
You need to craft something?
15 clipboards, 40 flags. Yeah, I'm still way off in that. I'll have to work hard. I'm definitely going to stream again once I get this maxed out here. And kind of show you guys the maximum amount of damage that I get on that one-shot build. Then we can both celebrate together. Vulnerable. I want it to be a little closer up. Vulnerability. Yeah, that'll do. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's going low. I was expecting head. 34 mil. Good start. Good start. Good start. We both know we can do better than that, though. Yeah, I do like this MK. Its damage output is pretty steady, pretty good overall. Good baseline. DPS in the 2 mil. It throws me off when it goes down low. I was aiming towards the head. Come on, give me that 68 mil. Come on, give me that 68 mil. 68! Yes, by the way, I did try to get my curl hair color in the game. Unfortunately, they don't have it. Purple was the wildest I could get on here and not make it look like poop. Most games don't have coral for your hair color, unfortunately. 73! 73! Not our best, but it's still amazing! 73. I don't have a dance emote equipped right now. How do I not have a dance emote? I like the Bollywood one. That one's pretty fun. Oh, I do. Oh, I've got the Haka. No. Bollywood over Haka.
Agent in need of backup.
Oh, give me the head! Give me the head! It's probably not going to be a good thing to be screaming on Twitch. I don't want Twitch Chan to come after me. Sometimes she gets a little angsty about certain things. Come on, give me that 68 mil, then we're going to be doing our Bollywood dance. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. $84 million! 84 million! I think that deserves a Bollywood dance. $84 million damage with that one bullet. Now let's do the 86. Bah. Can't stop, won't stop. Cannot stop, won't stop. Charge up, holster, charge up. You can do it. Let's do this together. Let's be amazing. Ah, stop going low. 73 million. 73 million, 84 million before. We're shooting for that 86 million we did earlier. Now, this is the downside of this particular one-shot build, is it's not consistent. I have to hope that I crit at just the right moment. Now, if you guys have any ideas for a one-shot build where I don't exactly have to depend on that, where I'm just hitting that 86, 87, 88 million with, doesn't matter whether or not I crit, please tell me that, because I prefer consistency over critting, even though critting is so much fun. I missed terribly. I missed really badly. That's embarrassing. Talk a big game and then my gun goes whee. Again, I'm not the best FPS player. I'll admit that. I'm even though I'm a cyber being, there's no aimbot here. This is all human AI input. Come on. 73. I promise you, I'm not going to stop the stream until we get to that 86 mil. We're going to do this. We're going to hit that. We're going to end on a high note while I rub my butt against these sandbags. Oh, it's 4 already, Eastern. Guess server reset just hit. Oh, and I forgot to do that SHD thing again. Oh, well. Maybe I'll just run outside and join a random person to get that. I promise you, like, this is what I usually do with my weekly projects, is when it comes to the legendary and SHD requisition, I just make sure to drop that exotic for whatever low SHD person is in my group. I do not drop it like if everyone's like SHD 1000, 2000 on up. You know, it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to that SHD 100, that SHD 50 who's just starting out. You drop them a Scorpio, you're their new best friend, you know? Like, everyone's been there where they've got crap gear, they're just trying to cobble it together. Be nice, pay it forward. All right, are we ready? We're going to hit that 86. We're going to hit that 86. Stop going low. 86! There's our 86, guys. Bollywood dance. 86 million on the one-shot build. 86 million on the one-shot build. And that wasn't even a full crit. It was like a yellow number. It wasn't even the red number. So I know we can hit harder. We can get like that 89 or something. But again, I'm going to be logging back into Division here, streaming it again, rather, once I get this fully maxed out so you guys can celebrate together with me. When we get that last little percentage there, eke out that last little bit there. Maybe even this. I don't think the weapon handling will matter that much. It's this headshot damage. That's going to give us that damage boost. And then we can celebrate together hitting that. Oh man, what if we get 90 mil? What if we get 90 million? So beautiful. I should test this one out with like a marksman rifle up here too. I wonder what that would do. Just out of curiosity. Probably not as much as the Regulus, because that is freaking 400%. Anyways. I hope you guys had fun today. I did too. It was really great to be able to meet all those new folks. Thank you for the new follows, Wolfeye. Thank you for dropping in Body Feast. I didn't catch all the viewers that dropped in, but I'll try to say hi next time around. And make sure to drop something in the chat there too, so I know you're there. Please follow me here on Twitch. Please follow me on Twitter, on Patreon. This way you guys know when I go live. It is usually in these later evenings, especially Eastern time. But, you know, I do what I can. I want to make sure to see you guys as often as possible. and we can share these special moments together. I had so much fun tonight. I hope you guys did too. You have a great night. Good night. Goodbye. Bye.